Hello, this is the Animation Fanatic here. I'm back. I just watched the most recent episode of Total Drama All-Stars, and I gotta say, I think this might have been my favorite. This was Total Drama All-Stars episode 8. I know I haven't been doing this very much, but yeah, spoilers to follow. So if you don't want things spoiled, don't watch. But anyway, as I was saying, I think this might actually be my favorite one so far. Because I really enjoyed it, and I really had a great time watching it. Now, the basic plot of this episode is, um, the teams have merged. It's now every man and woman for himself, and the contestants, in what was, I don't think, a homage to any previous challenge, the contestants have to do a boat race all the way around the island, with Chef providing obstacles. Now, you think this would be another Chef-centered episode with him trying to throw things in their way, ha ha ha, but actually he only briefly attacks them with stuff. A lot of the episode is built around character interaction and character-based comedy, and we get several plot lines in this. One is Courtney and Gwen being friends, which gets a little old, but continues. It's nice to see them as friends. Zoe trying to struggle with Mal, of whether or not Mike is Mal or not. Alejandro charming things. Mike struggling with trying to get out of Mal's head. Cameron dealing with whether or not he's becoming villainous. Duncan trying to be villainous. Scott being, well, Scott. And so yeah, there's a lot of different plot threads running through this episode. Just the basic, yeah. So it's basically the race with those plot threads. Eventually, Alejandro wins and earns immunity. Duncan blows up Chris's house and is taken away and is arrested and sent to regular jail. I'd feel sorry for him, proving he's a bad guy, but yeah, he doesn't really care much for going to regular jail. I think we're supposed to feel sorry for him, but I remember Total Drama Action, so nope. Anyway, that his storyline's wrapped up that way, and I'm kind of pleased actually. He does get a little bit overused. I liked him better in Total Drama Island, but still, this whole plot thread with him was semi-contradictory, and yeah, it's fine to see him go. Anyway, back to the other plot threads. The one I didn't like, well, okay, let me address the Mal plot thread. That was very interesting, actually. I know I've said before that I didn't like Mal really as a villain. I thought he was just kind of lame. In this episode, I liked him a lot more. His sabotaging of the boats at the beginning was very effective and very smart, and his alliance with Alejandro, while still staying in the character of Mike to keep throwing things off, was very effective, and his semi-alliance with Zoe and the others was also interesting, but he was still looking out for numero uno. I also liked how Mike was trying to get out of his head. I don't know what that tower is that he was trying to head towards, but I think this is interesting, and how he was able to get out briefly when Zoe was in danger, but now he's not, and now Mike's like, Mal's trying to play both sides. He's trying to pretend to still be Mike, but he's allying with Alejandro and doing bad things, and Zoe's trying to determine whether or not he's Mike. She thinks he might be, but he's not. And this sounds confusing, but it's really interesting. They're really going back and forth and pushing the drama here, and I like that a lot. Made very effective use of Mal, very effective use of Mike and Zoe, and that was interesting. I didn't kind of like how the older cast members interacted with each other more, and the newer cast members interacted with each other, kind of separate groups, with Duncan sort of being the middle ground there, and later Alejandro. But yeah, and that's kind of been the thing. I want to see more interaction between the different casts, but you know, we'll get that, and we have been getting that. Okay, Gwen and Courtney as friends. Yeah, like I said, there's not much to say there. It happens. It works. It's fine. Duncan, yeah, already talked about him. Scott acts as bait for most of this episode for Fang, and kind of acts like a jerk near the end. He doesn't really, yeah, he doesn't have a lot to do, and Courtney is not mentioned in this, so yeah. Cameron is, okay, no, let me do Alejandro. Alejandro's basically Alejandro in this. He was fine. He was funny-ish. That was good. But yeah, he didn't have a ton to do except at the alliance at the end. Oh yeah, and his funny scene at the beginning. Cameron was the one part that disappointed me. They seem to be pushing this whole, was Cameron becoming a villain? Is he doing villainous things? And kind of an opposite of Duncan, but from being on the villains team, but I didn't care for that. That's Cameron's always shown himself to be a good guy, a good kid, and he's always shown to be a reliable person, and I just don't see that in the character, and I think they're creating conflict where none really was and none really should be. And I don't like it when a show does that, when it creates storylines and things that aren't there or really don't have to be there. If I could say one bad thing about TMNT 2012, it's that the show can create things that weren't there before. My least favorite episode of X-Men Evolution created something that wasn't there before, the whole girl power episode. So that being said, I didn't care for that part. I liked the part at the end where Mal fixed the vote so that it was unanimous for Cameron. So that kind of makes Cameron not trust other people and, you know, be suspicious. That was a clever move by Mal. I'm not sure why he wanted to get rid of Cameron only, but yeah, Cameron is probably the smartest person on the island at the moment, so that could be a problem for him. So yeah, I know Cameron won last time, so there's not a chance he's going to win this time, but still, you gotta root for him. Yeah, and that was it. That was the one part I didn't like, but other than that, this was a really funny episode. It had a lot of really great laughs in it. I'm surprised at how much this series has been making me laugh really hard at it. And yeah, I look forward to next week's episode. I'm not too excited about Zombie Zeke coming back. I think that joke is really old. But we'll see. I'm ready to be surprised.